Pleasure to be with you guys today. My name is Austin Goldman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Shoplift. We're the e-commerce profitability co-pilot. By saying Shoplift, are you the guys who sell the plastic cage that's keeping me from my razor blades at CVS? No, it's not us. We are in commerce though. We're in e-commerce. We're helping merchants generate millions of dollars of incremental revenue from their existing traffic by creating an automated, self-optimizing storefront. So for those who aren't close to the market, e-commerce is massive and it's exploded and continues to explode since COVID-19. You can see the graph on the left here. E-commerce has had a step change and continues to grow, and it's trillions of dollars globally. It's over 20% of all retail across the globe. And a big part of that is platforms like Shopify have made it easier than ever for merchants to build businesses online. And you can see Shopify since Q1 of 2020 has more than doubled their number of stores. And the reason for that is because you don't have to build a store from scratch anymore, right? Shopify can get you up and running faster than ever, and legacy merchants who had expensive builds are transitioning to Shopify and other platforms like it. I want you to meet Jeannie. Jeannie is a marketer at a cookware brand called Great Jones, and they're doing about $10 million in sales, and they're growing really fast. And her job is to own the entire direct-to-consumer marketing funnel, right? She owns all of the ads all the way through the online store itself. And it's her job to get as many people to the store as possible, and then once people are on the store, it's her job to get as many people to buy something as possible. But she has this problem because every month, she has to acquire new customers. Her revenue is not recurring, right? So she essentially has to start from zero, acquiring these new customers, and she's reliant on advertising platforms like Facebook. And you've all, been shopping on Instagram, and you have packages showing up at your house, and Facebook and TikTok and these other platforms are very good at it, right? But at any moment, her advertising costs could go up, and that would mean that her cost to acquire new customers gets more expensive. And when that happens, and it always happens, sometimes it happens sooner, sometimes it happens later, but brands get stuck. And they get stuck because when your acquisition cost goes up, you have two options, and neither of them are good. The first option is to spend more on advertising just to get the same revenue that you were getting before, right? Which means you have less margin. You could also choose to spend less or spend the same and just get less revenue that you're getting before. But in that case, now you're not getting as much revenue and you don't have enough revenue to support the business. So you're left with these two bad options and you're stuck. Now there is a way to fix this. And the way to fix it is to make your funnel more efficient. And when I talk about the funnel, you get, as I said, she gets people from the ad to the website, and then you get people from landing on the website to buy something. But 98% of people who land on a website don't buy anything. I'll say that again. 98%. So she's leaving a ton of money on the table in this funnel. And, if you can change that 2% conversion rate to 2.5%, 3%, you can totally change the complexion of the business because all of that revenue that she's capturing is coming from the existing ad spend. So she can generate more revenue from the existing traffic. But so why doesn't every marketer do this, right? This is a great opportunity. Well, the reason that marketers don't do this is because they don't have the tools. They can't. And they can't because historically, this kind of storefront optimization has been prohibitively expensive and requires an army of experts. So in order to set up split tests on your website and actually increase your conversion rate and try to see what's going on and what users are going to respond to, you need an analyst, a designer, a developer. You need an enterprise-grade piece of software that's going to run you at least $50,000 to $100,000 a year. So all of this adds up to way more than 97% of the market can afford, right? You think about a business like Jeannie's that's doing 10 million in revenue, they can't afford this kind of outlay. And even if they get a great lift from it, they're not going to be able to, recoup the value that they put in. So they can't get an ROI. So 97% of the market can't do this. But that's where Shoplift comes in. Shoplift gives Jeannie the power to rewrite the rules of her acquisition funnel and take control of her business in a way that she just couldn't before. So what Shoplift does, automatically experiments and optimizes on her website, and gives her not only the visibility into what's going to work and what's going to make her more money, but it will actually make those changes for her live on the website. So suddenly, you have this organism on your website that's changing based on all the different users coming to your site and can self-optimize, right? And so suddenly, Jeannie has the expertise and the execution power of a whole team without having to hire one. And so this can totally change the way that she's able to attack her marketing funnel. So what she was previously only able to do in weeks or months, she can now do in minutes, right? All of these tedious and multi-stakeholder tasks, she's able to do immediately within minutes. And so how this works is Shoplift integrates directly with her store in one click. She doesn't need any developers or technical intervention. And Shoplift then begins to analyze her store data, right? It starts recommending strategies to improve her merchandising, her pricing, her UX for different merchants. And then Ellipticist, once those are identified, will actually start generating these new features to be displayed on the store, right? So it's totally from ideation all the way through execution. Shoplift handles all of it, and Jeannie, as one stakeholder, can own this whole process. As she uses it more, Shoplift continues to learn. And it's worth noting that as her audience changes, as the seasons change, as her ad mix changes, all these new users are coming to the site, Shoplift then evolves to meet the desires and wants of those new users to make sure that each individual user is getting the exact right experience at the exact right time. And the results of this can be, totally life-changing for one of these businesses. On average, Shoplift only costs about $4,000 a year. And even for a very modestly sized business, you could generate a huge return on that very small investment. So Shoplift not only pays for itself, but the value actually falls straight to the bottom line because, as I said, you've already paid to get those users to the store. So it's a non-linear growth trajectory, right? If you can get 10, 20, 30 incremental points of conversion, that's incrementally even more on the bottom line because you don't have to pay those extra expenses. So that's a little bit about Shoplift, and you can see here that the market's really responded to what we've built. We launched in June of last year, and in that time we've grown to $2.2 million in ARR. That was last month. We'll be at 2.5 this month, and we'll be at over 3 million by the end of the year. So we've had a great market response to what we've built, and we work with marquee brands across the globe. We have over $2.9 billion worth of commerce going through the platform. And we have some great household names that you can see here. We're actually in 34 countries globally already, and 31% of our merchants are international. And our go-to-market motion is extraordinarily efficient. And this is, I think, one of the most compelling parts of our story. We have over 700 customers, over 200 agency partners, and the agency partners represent about 20% of our business. We are extremely efficient at acquiring customers. Usually they say a 3-to-1 LTV to CAC ratio is pretty good. We have 36-to-1. And we pay back our acquisition costs within a single month. So what all this adds up to is within 2 years, we'll be making profitably $26 million ARR with a 26% EBITDA margin. And that's software gross margins too, right? So we'll be well over close to 80% gross margin. So we'll even have a higher EBITDA margin potential as we continue to grow. So where are we now? So now we're in the generation phase. We have these great tools for all of these assets, as I said, to be generated for merchants on their store. The single stakeholder can own all of these processes. And as we continue to grow, we'll be able to not only predict what's going to happen next for these merchants, but continue to automate more of these steps, right? So by the end of next year, all of the content that is being generated for these merchants will be automatically rolled out to the audiences that will react to them the best. And this is a proven playbook. Shopify has been a fertile incubator for these different companies, and you can probably see them here, ones that you know, such as Klaviyo, which is IPO'd last year and has been a phenomenal breakout in the space. And it's worth noting also that we are homegrown and crafted to perfection at Loeb NYC. Michael's in the room today, and he just had a great keynote speech. And there are 5 unicorns developed at Loeb, and we have great investors as well from Spanx, Walmart.com, Morgan Stanley, and others. We have a great team. It looks like I want to make sure we have time for questions. And actually, this is a Keiretsu exclusive. We are here to announce our Series A rounds that will be starting soon, which will be a $5 million round to continue our growth.